And we are live down here with Romance Happy Hour. You weren't here. Were you here last time or was I not here? I'm all over. You weren't here.
I was not here last time. No, because my friend from college was in town for one night only. Well, actually, he ended up being in town for 2 nights, but we were only able to get together on one night.
Which was Romance Happy Hour. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
So
I'm glad you got to see your old college friend. Good. And how is he?
Good.
Good.
I can't tell you anything because he's my friend who was in the Secret Service. So I can't tell you anything about him.
Oh, because I was going to say, is he working in the field that he went to school for? I mean, I guess you just answered that.
No.
Probably not.
I don't think anybody goes to school and majors in being a Secret Service agent.
But I have actually sold weapons to Secret Service agents before.
Oh my gosh, Dawn, do we have to talk about your gun sales history again?
No, but it's fun. It's fun when I do. Yeah.
Dawn lives in Montana and is
and I'm prior military, and so I lived on military bases. And I worked in the weapons sales on the military base, so I sold weapons.
Man, that's a weird way to start off Romance Happy Hour tonight.
Yeah, it's probably going to be weird, and I'm going to tell you this right now because I have not been working on anything except for saving my child. Yesterday at 5:30 a.m., I got a phone call from my mom saying your son's been in a car accident. And I called my son, and they're fine. They hit a deer, but they totaled their car. And then I spent the last 2 days. I got home today at 1, went directly to work, and then got home about 30 minutes ago. So this is where I'm at. But I drove across the country, which was 9 hours away, to get my son.
It's not across the country, FYI.
No, across the state. See, this is where I'm at. I'm exhausted. Across the state of Montana, 9 hours away, to get my son and bring him back and
yikes.
Get him squared away. He's okay. So is his girlfriend. The truck is not. It's totaled.
Yikes.
But that's why I'm weird today. That's my excuse.
Oh, is that why?
Yes. It's not my hair color this time. It's my exhaustion factor.
I never thought it was your hair color. I mean, I never thought it was your hair color either.
I like to blame it on my hair color when I have no other excuse.
Okay. All right.
But so how are you? What are you working on?
Good. I have been doing a lot of driving also. I was in Tennessee, and then was home for a few days and then went to Chicago, and now I'm home. So yeah, it's been busy. I am working on, what am I working on? Dylann had a book come out last week or the week before, recently.
Yeah.
Within the past week. Falling for the Bad Boy. And that's book 2 in the Bad Boys of Newbridge series. And then my alter ego, Eve London, has had 2 books come out this month. And another book comes out tomorrow. So, yeah, it's been a busy month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just accidentally, okay, I'm going to confess something because I just showed it live. I have this, which I fake you that I'm drinking water, and then I have this, and I accidentally just drank that from that. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
okay.
We have 2 guests tonight. Should we move on to
it?
Okay. Yes. Should we let our guests introduce themselves?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
All right, let's do that.
Hi. I'm Shannyn Schroeder. I teach. No, I do teach, but not today. It's been a week for me too. I write steamy contemporary romance. Most of my books set in Chicago. Not all of them, but I think I have 2 that aren't. Because I grew up there. I love the city. And most of my books have big families. So I have my Chicago Irish World, where I've got multiple families in the same Chicago neighborhood. So each sibling gets their own book. My other series, still, it's family oriented, even if it's found family. It's like that's a big theme through all of my books. And I'm going to be reading a couple of different things for you today. Do you want Tiffany to introduce herself first, or are we going to come back to her later?
Yeah, we'll do Tiffany.
Okay. Yes, we'll let Tiffany talk first, and then we'll come back. We will make sure you know when it's time for you to read, Shannyn.
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I forgot to tell you is your face will be up there all by yourself, and the rest of us will be muted.
Oh yay!
I forgot to say that. So
you did forget.
I did. I knew I was forgetting something.
We're all a little off tonight, but welcome, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I am Tiffany. I write under the pen name TL Russ. I do steamy contemporary romance, and my towns are all over the place, mostly in the South, but because I have dreams of possibly one day being there. And I like to say that I write men I want to date, women I want to be friends with, and families I want to be a part of. So
I love that.
That's kind of where I have fun with it. And I love characters. I like to try to make them both make you angry and cry at the same time. So that's most of my books.
Sounds good.
Wait, I already have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Dawn.
No, you had a question too. You first.
It's probably the same question.
Probably.
Since you say you want to live in the South, like where do you live now?
I live in the Midwest. I'm in Missouri.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. And
go ahead, Dawn.
Okay, because it's probably the same follow-up question, because that was my question too, Dylan.
I figured. I can read your mind.
I know. We're at that point in our relationship of romance happy hour. Where in the South do you want to live?
So I used to live in Michigan. I remember telling my aunt one time, I was like, I think I've narrowed it down to 3 places I might move. And she's like, where? I was like, back to Denver, possibly Arizona, or the South. And she's like, the South is more than 3 places. And I was like, yeah, I don't know where in the South, just South.
When you said Michigan, I was like, that's in the wrong direction from Missouri. I mean, I am oftentimes geographically challenged, but
well, I'm gonna point this out. Jody WH just said hi from Vancouver, Canada. So you're south of her. So
that is true.
Yeah, you got that.
Hi, Jody.
I think if I had to narrow it down, it would probably be either North Carolina or Georgia.
Okay.
But those are the closest I can get.
North Carolina by its name is not the South.
But it is, because it's south of the Mason-Dixon line. Yes, I know that one.
It is for sure the South. As someone who has family who lives in Tennessee, yes, you get that far south. That is the South.
I'm teasing.
She is teasing.
I was teasing.
I've actually lived everywhere. So I've lived in North Carolina. So I will say, yes, it's the South. So is Virginia. And Virginia is north of North Carolina.
Has lived everywhere.
Yep. Except for...
I lived in Missouri, though. Did you live in Missouri, Dawn?
I did not live in Missouri or Michigan.
See? Or Missouri?
Or Missouri. Or Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. Been here half my life. Still don't know where that's at.
I have visited there, but I have not lived there.
Yeah. And have you lived in Illinois?
Okay. I haven't lived everywhere. I've visited everywhere. I've lived in a lot
I'm just curious because, both Shannyn and Tiffany are both in places.
Yeah, Midwestern.
That's amazing.
We're actually, you guys are kind of like centrally located here, and then I'm just off my rockers to the west here. So that's kind of why we're off, maybe.
I don't think that's why, but that's okay.
Well, either way, we're going to have an absolute blast because I can feel the dynamic right now. We're going to have a lot of laughs this time.
Yes. Yes. And welcome to everybody who is joining us. We're super excited to have you here. If you do have questions for Shannyn or Tiffany as they're going along throughout the night, feel free to pop them in the comments and we'll make sure that we bring those to their attention. So
can I just pop one question up there real quick? because it's actually a pre-book question and kind of goes with it. Have you lived or visited Canada?
I have not. I have not traveled lots of different places. But no, Canada is not one that I've been to. But I know Jody, so I could say hi to Jody.
And
Jody.
it's a lifeless place for me because Canada is also one of the places, if I were leaving the US, I would move.
Okay, first I thought you said it's a lifeless place for me. And I was thinking,
I don't like the idea of a bucket list, so I just call it a life list.
got it.
That. Okay.
Got it. I was going to say there actually are a lot of people in Canada.
We didn't hear the T. It did tell you said life less. And I'm like, that's insulting to the people who live in Canada.
Right.
Wait, I'm going to blame that on my internet.
Yeah. No, that's funny. I've been to Canada and I've been to Vancouver. I just went to Vancouver before I knew Jody, so I didn't see Jody in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. But someday maybe. That would be nice.
I have been to Canada as well. I drove through on our move to Alaska. From Washington State, actually. We did the Alcon. Yeah, where? I mean, it's a huge state. I probably didn't meet your friend.
We're
going to preface it with that.
Ex-husband was there, so they were on the base.
Oh, cool. So were they in Anchorage, or were they Coast Guard?
Not Coast Guard. I don't remember what.
Probably Anchorage.
There's a big army base.
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Bear. J-Bear is like the big joint base, and then. Well, I remember it because it's like a bear, and it's like Alaska J-Bear. That's how.
Okay.
That's how I remember the name of the base. But then there's Coast Guard bases all over the place. But yeah, I didn't meet your friend, but that's awesome. I love it because Alaska, I would go back, and Canada too. It's beautiful. In fact, my stepdad that's on his bucket list is to like do that whole drive up through Canada to Alaska. I think it should be on everybody's bucket list.
I'm watching,
but that's my.
It's a family right now that they're doing it. They left Washington State and they're driving up in an RV through Canada into Alaska.
So are you? Nice. Do you like watch YouTube like channels like that, or is it Facebook?
I do. Well, in my everyday life, I'm a photographer, and so I would love to do like an RV and just travel around and photograph things and write.
That sounds like fun, but to do it with my family, no way. I'm getting locked into a box with my family. I love my family, but I don't like them that much to be locked in a box with them. Oh.
Well, this family, it's a mom, a dad, a son and a daughter, and apparently they've been living in this RV full time for like 9 years.
No way.
Oh my
gosh. And I think the son might have just graduated. That's a better word, from high school.
See, it's not just me.
Maybe retired from high school. That sounds.
And so he might be getting ready to go to college because this is like their big trip. And I think the mom's hitting a big milestone birthday. And so they're doing it because of that.
Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have at least 6 weeks, but years, I don't know, like to do the whole trip. And again, I agree. I don't think I could be locked in a box with my family. I have been.
I was going to say, Dawn, you lived for years.
I did. We started out
in an RV with your 17 children and 20 dogs. I know you did.
We started off Romance Happy Hour when I lived in the RVs.
That's right. That's
right. Yeah. I'm not doing it again. That's my point.
Well, we should probably start talking about books, don't you think?
Honestly, we should. And we should also probably have Shannyn read.
I think we probably should.
So, welcome, ladies, again, because we kind of got off track like wildly there. So, Shannyn, you're going to be reading for us first. Do you need to set anything up for our viewers?
A little bit. I actually have 2 separate readings. One, I'm going to be reading from my work in progress, which is not done. So you can't buy it. There are no pre-orders yet. But I think that people like to kind of see where we start with things. And then I'm going to read, and that is book 3 in my series. And then I'm going to read from book 2, which is available. And I can show you the cover and all of that good stuff. So all you need to know for this work in progress, which doesn't have a title yet, because I suck at titles. That's like the last thing that happens when I write. This is basically the meet cute between the hero and the heroine. She is working at a bar that his brother's girlfriend is managing. He knows that she is a true crime podcaster, but she's not open about that because she's there for a story. And so he doesn't want her sticking her nose where it doesn't belong. He is FBI and he's not coming clean about that either. So there's a lot of background, like, you know, he knows who she is, but she doesn't know who he is. But there's an attraction, obviously, because it's romance. So all you need to know right now is that he's sitting at the bar and just starting to chat her up. So he looks at her and he says, "You're new here." It wasn't a question. "How'd you know?" "Neighborhood bar, everyone knows everyone, but I don't know you." She extended a hand. "Roxy." "Brendan." His hand came up to shake hers, muscled forearm under a blue sleeve pushed up to his elbow. The color of the Henley matched his eyes. His hand wasn't smooth, but it wasn't completely callous like a tradesman's would be. Made her wonder what he did with those hands. The handshake was firm. He didn't act as though her bones might break in his grip. "Nice to meet you, Brendan. What are you doing drinking all alone?" Chloe had a date, so we wrapped up our conversation quickly. I figured I'd finish my beer and head out. "That's a shame. You could come hang out at the bar." "And why would I do that, Roxy?" "Friendly conversation, a good drink. Isn't that the whole purpose of coming to a bar?" "I suppose you're right." He stood and followed her back to the bar. "You ready for another pint?" "Sure." He set his empty glass on the bar. "So, Brendan, what do you do?" "A little of this, a little of that. Just out here trying to survive. You know how it is." "Sure I do." Hell of a vague answer. "And what's the this and that you do?" She set the fresh beer in front of him. "Mostly I help people." His steely gaze bore into her in challenge. He was not going to give her more. "What do you do for fun?" "You ask a lot of questions. And you don't give a lot of answers. A girl can't be too careful." "You don't have to worry about me. I'm no danger to you." I bet every serial killer in existence spoke that lie to a victim at one time or another. A laugh burst from him, catching them both off guard. It was a good sound, and it did something amazing to his serious face. "Fair enough," he said, "but there's no photo of me on America's Most Wanted list." "Fair enough," she echoed. "Then I'd counter to say that asking questions is how you learn about someone you might be interested in." He took another drink of beer. "You want to know how I spend my free time?" "You mean besides have a beer and friendly conversation with a beautiful woman?" She felt her cheeks warm. "Yeah, besides that. Sometimes I play a pickup game of hockey with friends. Sometimes I go see a game. Some neighborhood boys are on an amateur team." "Hockey, huh? Kind of a bloody sport, isn't it?" "Not as bad as boxing or cage fighting." He drank his beer. "What do you do besides pour beer and entertain customers?" "Do you think I'm entertaining?" "I'm flattered." "You're something, that's for sure." She leaned closer on the edge of the bar. "Shh, don't tell anyone here, but I like to read." "Why is that a secret?" "People make judgments." "Oh, so you're into the smutty books, are you?" "Sometimes, but true crime is my true love. When you start talking about murderers, people give you the side eye." A patron at the end of the bar waved her over. "I'll be right back." As she served customers, she felt Brendan's eyes on her, following her every move. She poured drinks, and different scenarios played out in her head. Was the Black Rose a mob front? She hadn't gotten that vibe from Chloe at all, but she had to keep an open mind. Chloe had mentioned that she was in the process of buying it from the Burns. Maybe that was it. Brendan was here to pressure her to keep it mobbed up. Maybe he was trying to get protection money. She shook her head. That part didn't make sense. Chloe's boyfriend was clearly into her. And mob or no, she couldn't imagine he would let his cousin, extort her. The mob protected their own. So maybe Chloe was into it? Roxy collected money and rang up orders. When she returned to Brendan, his eyes were still on her. "Problem?" he asked. "No, why?" "You look like you have a lot on your mind." She waved a hand. "It's just, I have one of those brains, a million thoughts swirling at once." "So what are you reading now?" "I'm actually digging into Chicago history right now." He chuckled. "Plenty of crew crime there, eh? Did you grow up here?" "I was born here, but my family moved away when I was a teenager." "What brought you back?" Now he's asking a lot of questions. She shot him a smirk. "But to answer, family. Isn't it always?" "How do you know Chloe?" "We grew up across the street from each other. Actually dated for a while when we were kids." "Must be a small neighborhood, huh? I don't think I'd want to run into any of my exes at work. But I guess your split must have been amicable." He shrugged. "Not really. I was a jerk. But again, we were kids." She nodded. Where exactly would one go if she wanted to catch a hockey game? Other than the Blackhawks, obviously. "There's a rink about a half hour from here where the amateur league plays." "And is there a team I should be rooting for?" The Savage Tools are some of the neighborhood boys I know. She sighed. You're really not very good at this. At what exactly? Taking hints. When a woman has clearly expressed interest and asks about seeing a game you said you're interested in, that should be your clue to ask her out. She wasn't quite sure what game she was playing. She shocked herself by saying that. If this guy was mob, it would be stupid to start anything with him. But he intrigued her. Maybe it wasn't healthy. Okay, it probably most definitely wasn't healthy. Some men prefer clear direction and invitations, he said, low and quiet. So quiet, she found herself leaning closer to him again. Then consider this an invitation. Would you like to take me to see a hockey game? I would. She took a cocktail napkin and scribbled a number on it. Sliding it over to him, she said, give me a call or text. I'll meet you there. A proper date would have me picking you up. She smiled again. I can't make it too easy for the serial killer. She gave him a wink and made her rounds to fill drinks for other customers. By the time she came back to his spot, he was gone. She hadn't even gotten his last name. So Brendan is the oldest brother of the Doyle family, who is trying to figure out what happened to their father who went missing 20 years ago. And so that's where they're overlapping. Book 2, in fine form, is one of the younger brothers. And so I'm going to read to you from In Fine Form. Declan is the youngest brother of the family. It's a family of 7 Irish Catholics. They have a lot of kids. He is the youngest brother, and he's a floater. He is kind of irresponsible, doesn't hold a lot of jobs. He's got skills, but he's mostly homeless. He bounces from family to family, and he is currently living with his best friend's older sister, who is a single mom, newly divorced, has a rundown house. So he is fixing up her house so that he could stay there for a while until he figures out what he wants to do with his life. And in this scene, her ex has just shown up at the house to drop off their daughter. And he is talking about a wedding that they're both supposed to be going to because they have friends in common. Obviously, they were married for a long time. And so he informed her earlier in the week that he was not going to be taking their daughter the weekend that he agreed to, even though it wasn't his weekend, because she's standing up in the wedding. He said, oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't take Sadie that weekend, but didn't tell her why. But now she knows. Graham stepped closer. Look, I'm sure you know about me and Tina. Renee's hand flew up. I don't want to talk about this. I don't care who you date. What bothers me is you didn't have the guts to tell me that was why you were backing out of taking Sadie this weekend. I was going to, but you were mad and I didn't want you to feel bad on top of it. Why would I feel bad? I don't care who you date. It's just, I didn't want to rub it in your face that I moved on and had a date when you don't. She had no idea if it was all his BS or the wine that made her want to smack him, but she didn't. Don't worry about me. I have a date for the wedding. Goodbye. She pointed at the door and he shuffled through. She didn't wait for him to say goodbye or even look at her. She simply closed the door. On autopilot, she went to Sadie's room and tucked her in. Then she started to spiral over the fact that her mouth had gotten away from her. Why had she told Graham she had a date? You know why, the little voice in her head mocked. You want to go with Declan. But she shouldn't. Maybe she should find a different date. Someone more appropriate. Someone not Declan. She sighed again and she took another swig of wine. The problem was she didn't know anyone else. Trying to get in touch with one of her few hookups was an even worse idea. Maybe she should call Lisa and Jen. They might know someone. But that would put her on a blind date for a wedding. This wasn't like her. She planned and scheduled everything. She predicted possible pitfalls before making a move. Why hadn't she considered a date for the wedding? Because I don't need a man for validation, she said aloud to no one. She straightened up the living room, piddling around while drinking her wine to waste enough time that she wouldn't feel like an old lady for going to bed so early. Finally, she gave up. She refilled her wine again and flopped back on her bed. She didn't crawl under the covers and her feet were still on the floor, but she lay there, allowing the wine to do its thing and relax her. She didn't know how long she was lying there when she heard the front door open. Declan was home. She thought about reaching for her wine, but couldn't muster the energy. What she needed to do was to find the courage to talk to Declan about being her date. But it could wait till tomorrow. Hey, you okay? Declan's voice startled her. Yeah, but you're in bed. At 8:30. I'm not really in bed. I'm thinking. And I'm an old lady. You're not old. What's going on? So maybe it wouldn't wait until tomorrow. At least if she got it over with now, she could die from embarrassment in the comfort of her own bed. She forced herself upright. Graham dropped Sadie off after their dinner tonight. He said he hadn't told me about Tina because he didn't want to make me feel bad. She took a deep breath and swallowed hard. You know, because I'm so pitiful that I don't have a date. He said that? Not in those exact words. She reached for a glass of wine and gulped. But he made me angry, and so I told him I have a date. She didn't turn to look at Declan, didn't want to see the look on his face. But then he was so quiet, and she didn't know what to think, so she glanced over her shoulder. He looked shocked. You do? He finally asked. She shook her head. She heard him release a breath, then he bounced on the bed next to her. Sure you do. I said I'd go with you. She flopped back and tossed her arm over her eyes. But I shouldn't need you to. I'm pitiful. You're not pitiful, and I want to go. It'll be fun. That's nice of you to say. Thanks. She moved her arm and stared at the ceiling. Declan lay down next to her. His hand brushed against hers. From the corner of her eye, she saw that he was looking at the ceiling. In profile, he didn't seem as young as she usually thought of him. She returned to her own study of the ceiling. They lay in silence for a few minutes. In a quiet voice, Declan said, I offered to go with you because I like being with you. Her heart thumped and tears clawed at her throat. I don't know what to do with that, she forced out. Nothing to do. We're just going to have a good time at the wedding and make your ex-husband realize you are way happier without him. She huffed a sad laugh. The thing is, I am happier without him. It just doesn't look like it to everyone else. I see it. He sat up, the movement causing their hands to brush again. You look happier now than I can remember in recent years. If others can't see it, they're blind. And so that is a brother's best friend, forced proximity. There isn't only one bed at the wedding. Lots of fun little tropes there.
I love it. Trying
Thank
to get
you.
us all unmuted. Sorry. I think Dylan and I keep unmuting Tiffany at the same time.
I'm not touching Tiffany's.
Okay, Tiffany, you may have muted yourself. There we go. Okay.
We're having all kinds of technical difficulties
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay. Is that I hear two things. Is that me?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean,
All
I
right,
think
Dylan.
so. I guess I don't know.
I just took my phone away. Did that fix it?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. There we are. That was it. Sorry, ladies. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you, Shannyn, for reading. That was a lot of fun.
That was.
And also, if you want to pop your links to the books that you read from, well, the first one, I guess you don't have a link yet or is it on pre-order?
No, it's not. I don't do pre-orders unless I know the book is done. I don't trust
Got it.
myself.
Yes.
I
I
really-
understand that. Some of our viewers and readers might not. You want to say why you don't do any pre-orders unless the book's done?
Well, for me, I come from traditionally publishing where, you had a deadline, you meet the deadline, that's fine. And now that I'm doing everything self-published, I'm really bad at keeping to things. Plus my personal life has been really messy this year. I started this book a year ago. It's still not done. And I am someone who usually publishes 2 to 3 books a year. I could do it comfortably, and I've published nothing new this year. That's how messy life has been. And so while I am working on the book, I don't want to say for sure it's going to be out in October because I don't know how much messier life is going to get. So I would rather just not get people's hopes up to say that, oh, I'm going to pre-order the book and then not have it go, because that to me is not a fun thing to do. So I just wait till when I know it's really done and in my hands, then I can pick a date to release it.
That is a good way to do it because I did have to cancel a pre-order earlier this year, and it stinks when you have to cancel a pre-order.
Yeah, and that's what I was worried about. I try not to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and also you can get penalized too if you cancel a pre-order too many times on Amazon, they can take away your pre-order privileges. So that stinks also.
Yeah, and I don't want to do any of that. So I'm playing it safe.
Yes, good idea.
I try.
And so how many books? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I will put my links in the chat. It wants me to connect YouTube, and of course, YouTube is being a jerk. So I will do that as soon as I get it connected.
Okay, sounds good. Or pop them in our chat between us, and I can put them up.
Private chat.
Okay.
Yep.
I might have to do that if it won't let me do anything else.
Yep. No worries. So, how many books are in this series?
Right now, the first 2 books are out. I'm working on book 3. Assuming that every sibling will get their own book, which is the plan, it will be 7. And
Okay.
it's in the same world. So there's little cameos from the other families, like members of the families will pop in, but you can totally read them out of order and it doesn't matter.
And how did you decide to write that series?
The very first series that I wrote for Kensington, it was supposed to be a 3-book series. It was like 2 sisters and their girlfriend. And I wrote the first book. And when I wrote the first book and the hero came from this big Irish family and they owned the pub, that's where she met him. And then as I was writing him and I got obviously I figured out who his family was. And I'm like, ooh, this is not a trilogy with these women. This is about the O'Learys. And I got to book 4, and book 4 in that series is a brother's best friend, Grumpy Sunshine book. And he is the best friend, lives across the street. So then I had the O'Malleys who grew up across the street from the O'Learys. And then I was like, ooh, but now I really need to write the O'Malleys. And so I just keep adding families to this neighborhood, which is just a lot of fun. So I grew up knowing families like this, like really big, like 5, 6, 7 kids, which I did not come from that kind of family, but I was always a little bit jealous of it. So that's why I write them.
I did come from that kind of family. There were 6 of us kids. And also I am also published with Kensington. So, hey, sister.
I'm not with them anymore. I got all of them.
I know. Oh, did you? I still have mine with them, but it's like American Historical. So
I mean, I loved it when I was with them, but my editor left. And
was it Martin?
It was Peter.
My editor left too. Oh, okay.
No, this was years ago, and I had a great run with Peter. But then when you're orphaned and they just kind of hand you off to someone else, and it's not someone who picked you, and then it's like she wasn't a bad editor. We just didn't really mesh. So
it makes a big difference when you have someone who's kind of championing your book or your series or something on the inside. Yes.
Do you know what I love about my editor? He left Kensington Romance, and he became an editor for Marvel Comics. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's quite a change.
That's cool. I know, right? Romance to Marvel Comics. I love that. But yeah. Do we have any more questions? We have any questions? Because I have some.
Not yet.
Okay. I'm going to save our big one for last, I think.
Okay.
Are you?
Well, Deanna, I don't know if Deanna's even here, so I don't know.
I don't.
If she's not watching, I don't know.
I'm still going to ask it because it's a really cool question.
Okay, you can ask that
Okay.
question.
All right. How about this one? I love to hear this one too. Out of all of the heroes that you have written, who is your favorite? And let's go for both of you for that one.
I hate that question.
Why?
That's a horrible question.
But you know what?
Yes.
But I bet Dylan knows my answer because she's seen me at signings. And when I'm at a signing, I have a T-shirt that says, I can't say the word because it's a potty word, but Effin' Jimmy. And everybody wants to know, well, who's Jimmy? And Jimmy is my favorite hero. He is that crossover book from the O'Learys to the O'Malleys. He is the quintessential big brother. Like he is the oldest brother. He's always telling everybody what to do. He's in their business. He's usually right, and that annoys them, which is why they say Effin' Jimmy. And so I love him. And so and truly that was the book that taught me how much I love to write Grumpy Sunshine. So then I've at least 2 other ones that I've written. So he is he's my favorite.
And what book is that?
That is Catch Your Breath, which is book 4 in the O'Learys.
Okay. Catch Your Breath. We'll have to check that one out. That's awesome.
And Deanna is here. Hi, Deanna.
She is. Yeah. So we have to ask that question, Dylan. We have no choice.
Yep. Save it to the end.
Yeah. And then favorite. Okay. What's your favorite heroine? Oh, wait. Let's hear Tiffany. Well, let's hear your favorite heroine. Then we'll go over to Tiffany. Sorry. This is where I'm at. Dylan, 4 hours of sleep. This is what you get.
I was so hoping. I was like, yay, she skipped me.
No, she's going to get you sooner or later.
I will.
Because I was sitting here thinking, I was like, oh, well, it's this person. No, but then what about, wait, no. I think, though, the first person that came to my mind was, it's a character, Dexter Boone. He's in my Storming Cobra football series. And it is a marriage on the rocks romance. And he comes home from training camp, and his wife has left him divorce papers on the kitchen counter. And she is a Olympic skier. And he takes time away from training camp and shows up in her hotel room. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I don't know. Maybe it's because my wife left divorce papers on our table and I want to know why." And so he just really like steps up and is like, he thought that their marriage was perfect, and he takes it in stride that there were things that he didn't see. And in the end, it's always great because she then does it to him, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "It's not so funny when it's on the other shoe, huh?" And so he might be one of my favorites. I can't say he's my favorite, but he's definitely up there.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, what
Who's
about
your favorite hero, Dawn?
it would be Garrett from Whitewater Passion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. He's my Darcy.
Okay.
That's why I'm a Jane Austen fan, and he's my Darcy.
All right.
What about you, Dylan? Who's your favorite?
I refuse to answer that question. I think
You
it's a horrible question, and
you
I
have to
refuse.
answer.
I do not.
Give us 5.
I don't. You're like, how many
Who's your
hundred
top
miles?
5?
He doesn't have to.
I know. You're not going to drive
You
to
made me
Minnesota
answer.
because you asked it. Because you asked that horrible question, so I made you answer it.
But I might drive to Minnesota. I just drove 9 hours in the last 24.
Well, I think
no, 18 hours in the last 24 hours.
Minnesota would be like more like 18 hours one way. So.
Okay. So I'll be there in 24 hours. I'm just kidding. I got a job. They won't let me. Okay. So
I'm pleading the 5th on that one. I don't want to make anybody mad. Any of my fictional heroes mad.
Because
they get angry and then they won't cooperate.
Because they always watch Romance Happy Hour.
That's right.
There's some of our podcast viewer or listeners, just so you guys know. We told you we had a lot of podcast listeners. Most of them are Dylan's characters. We're getting off topic. I asked what's your favorite hero, who your favorite heroine was, and then we got to, I think, hear from Tiffany. Okay. So, Shannyn, who's your favorite heroine?
I don't know that I have a favorite one. That is kind of, you know what? I think Chloe, who we see, they talk about her in my work in progress. She is the heroine in Too Deep, who is with Brendan and Declan's brother. She's a lot of fun. She runs the bar. Her parents are always nagging her because she's got a college degree. She should go be an accountant. And she's like, "I hate accounting. I got the degree to make me happy, but this is what makes me happy." And she's good at it. Like, she's good at running the bar. And she does cross stitch. And as a hobby, her grandma taught her how to do it. And so she does like Bible verses for her nice Irish Catholic mom. And she gives it to all her mom's friends, but then she writes naughty ones that she sells on Etsy. So it's just fun. She is definitely the sunshine to his grumpy. And so, yeah, the fact that she pulls him out of just his, ability to do not much more than grunt. I like her for that.
Sounds like a mountain man in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes.
I write a lot of mountain men as Eve. So yeah, a mountain man in the city.
And he is big. In fact, that Roxy from the work in progress, when she saw him, she didn't know who he was, so she just calls him Mountain Man because he's big, and yeah, he just kind of grunts at people.
I love that. What about you, Tiffany? Who's your favorite heroine in your books?
This one is so much easier because only one person came to mind, even though I love all of them. But it is my girl Tinsley from my Jewel Agency series that is based on the Taylor Swift Reputation album.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the name.
Mm-hmm.
The whole series, I was listening to the song Getaway Car, and I was just like, what if it was two people who both were in secret agencies and they didn't know the other two people were, or they were in secret agencies, and she thought she was double crossing him, and it turned out they were both on the right side, and they end up meeting up at the end. And that was how I came up with the whole agency. And it's kind of, each one is based primarily off of a specific song.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And super timely. Are you marketing it as a
I mean,
Taylor
I
Swift
really need to get back
inspired?
into it now that she's, announced a
I
new
know.
album.
Yep.
But surprisingly, I love this series. It didn't do that well for me. I don't know if it's because it has like a mystery element to it or what, but out of all of my series, it's maybe probably my least selling series.
Well, just so you know, Jametta says, yes, Tinsley, she agrees with you. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, give us a link for that one so people can go check it out. If that's your favorite heroine, then it
So
definitely
I'm on my
needs
phone, and I
love.
don't know if I can get
No, that Kate, tell us the name. We'll find a link.
It's Getaway Love.
I know you did say that. Getaway Love.
And you can come back and put it in the comments later when you're on your computer or something. And have access.
Right, but
Dawn,
first
we sure Dawn did not mean to yell at you.
Was I yelling?
A little, yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell.
You're good.
It's this
You
phone
said
thing here.
No.
But that's actually because like we're like a couple minutes past when we need to have her reading. So I was like, I think I was trying to speed it along, and I'm just tired and having enough White Claws enough that I'm a little loud. So Tiffany, we need to hear from you before we can't hear from you. So I'm going to put you up there, and you are a go.
All right. I am reading from my book, Speed of My Heart. It is the second book in my Peach Ridge series, and it is a enemies to lovers romance. And this is in true mountain small town fashion. Everybody assumes a lot of stuff. And so it is when the two main characters, Lucas and Sloan, have kind of started to maybe somewhat start to get along, and then realize everybody's assuming that they're getting along a lot. She's cute, Luke. Terry leaned on the counter as I waited for Sloan. I'm just helping her out. I was pretty much done with all the innuendos going around town today, if you say so. She straightened as Miss Bright walked up with her cart. She smiled. Lucas, Mrs. Bright. I helped her put her things on the counter. I just had a lovely conversation with your new girl. Her smile was huge. I'm so glad to see you out with someone again. I didn't want to think of the implications. She's just visiting, Mrs. Bright. Oh no, her smile fell some. I had such hopes for you when I heard you two were seen shopping together. I stopped myself just as I was about to rub at my temple. I would be bald by the time Sloan went home. Shopping together? We were only gone an hour, maybe two, and already it was around town. Pearl said Officer Hudson told her you were taking the day to spend with that wonderful woman I just met. She leaned towards me. She's very pretty. I was going to kill Mav when I got back to the station. Yes, she is. Terry gave Mrs. Bright her total, and I put her bags in the cart as she paid. I helped her to her car and put her things in the back seat. I hope you two work things out, she said as she got in. It would be nice to see you with someone, especially after before. I went back inside. Always did like Mrs. Bright. Terry smiled. Thank God Sloan walked up right then. It didn't take long for her to finish and for me to pay. It might have been rude, but I had to get out of there as soon as possible. When we got to the cabins, I picked up the bags and followed her into the lobby. I let out a small groan when I saw Lillian at the front desk. There was nothing like walking into a hotel with a woman and seeing your ex. Why, Lord, why? Lucas Walker, she said. Her eyes moved from me to Sloan. What brings you in? Just helping out a friend of the family. The words barely made it past my teeth. Uh-huh. She turned to Sloan. How can I help you? I have a cabin reserved under the name Hart. Lillian tapped the keyboard and then turned back. I see here that you canceled the reservation yesterday. What? Sloan's face scrunched. I did no such thing. I know I'm a day late for checking in. Is it possible someone canceled it for me? We don't do that. I had heard that tone plenty while we were dating. It never ended good. Sloan put down the bag she was holding. Well, I didn't cancel it, and if I didn't, then someone here did. Are you sure you didn't cancel it when you realized you had other options for where to stay? Lillian's eyes strayed to me. I didn't understand her attitude. She broke up with me and was dating some big city lawyer. Why was she acting as if she had the right to be jealous? Listen here. I had only known Sloan a day, but the way she leaned towards the desk and narrowed her eyes made me question if Lillian would get kicked too. I didn't cancel the reservation, so you do your job, figure out who screwed up, and get me a cabin. I'm sorry, we're completely full. I bet my badge that was a lie. The only time any of the cabins filled up was during the Peach Festival or Autumn Harvest. I'm sure you can make other arrangements. Again, she looked at me. Lil, I decided to jump in before this got worse. I'm sure you can find a cabin somewhere. I'm sure I can't. She gave me a half smile. You two have a good night. And tell your mama I said hi. Mom never liked Lillian, always did say she had a vindictive streak a mile long. Come on. I picked up Sloan's bag and turned for the door. Are you kidding me? Sloan shook her head. I don't think so. You get your manager, supervisor, owner, whoever runs this place out here now. I run this place. Lillian smiled at her. And as I said, we're completely full. Have a nice night. I took hold of Sloan's hand and pulled her out the door. Why did you do that? She turned on me. You look at this lot. There's no way this place is full. I know, but Lillian is as stubborn as you. If I hadn't pulled you out of there, I was going to end up having to arrest you both. I don't feel like having to go around town that I arrested my ex-girlfriend and my new girlfriend for getting into a fight. I opened the back door and put her bag inside. Is that what this is about? Her being angry that you came in there with me? I don't know, but whatever it is, yelling at her isn't going to solve it. I said, neither is threatening her or kicking her. I didn't kick her. I know, but I saw the same look on your face right before you kicked me. Now I can take you over to the suites on the ridge, or you can stay with me and my parents. Which one do you want? She crossed her arms. I want to stay in the cabin I reserved. Fine. Then stay here and wait. When hell freezes over, maybe Lillian will take pity on you. I slammed the door. I bet you would leave me here. What else do you want me to do? I asked. I offered to let you stay with me or my parents. I offered to take you to one of the other hotels in town. I want you to go in there and make this right. Sure thing, princess. I'll walk in and ask the girl that broke up with me 2 weeks after we got engaged to do a favor for the woman half the town thinks I'm sleeping with. Sarcasm dripped from my mouth like juice from a peach. I'm sure she would jump right on that. Sloan's eyes widened. Oh, wow. All the fight drained out of her. That really sucks. No, I stopped myself before I cursed and leaned on the car. No kidding. She came over and leaned beside me. Sorry. Thanks. She let out a breath. I know I'm being a witch. I'm sorry. It's not you or the town. My life is just crazy right now, but I promise I'm not normally like this. I laughed. Me either. There's something about you that just pulls this out of me. Yay? She laughed again. Why don't we head back to my house and you can get settled there? I mean, as you said, half the town thinks we're sleeping together. Yeah, they do. That shouldn't sound so tempting. I cleared my throat and pushed off the car. Come on, let's go home, I said without thinking as she paused to look at me. My words ran back through my head. I meant, let's get back to my place. She nodded and I opened the car door for her, pretending my statement was a slip of the tongue.
Love it. Okay, so
Woo-hoo.
okay, Shannyn, I think I tried to unmute you, but I think you muted yourself. Here we go.
I muted myself so that I wouldn't interrupt anything.
There we go.
We're all back.
We're back. We're back. So I want to know. Wait. It went away. I had it in my brain, and now it's gone. Okay, but I am
Dawn.
I don't actually have it on this time, so it's not me.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say that. It's not me this time. Let's see if I unplug this. Is it still doubling?
No.
No.
What the hell is my headphones? Okay.
It was you. I mean, I hate to say it, but
it was my
clearly
headphones.
was you.
And yeah, it was me. It was my headphones,
That's all right.
my phone.
That's all right.
Amazing. I'm sorry. We did say there would be technical difficulties. It's usually
Yes, we did.
me.
There always are.
Always, yeah. Oh. So how did you decide which towns or which settings to put these books that you are reading from? How did you decide on your setting? I guess is what the question I was really narrowing down to.
I love Georgia, and I thought like a small town that had was known for its peach orchard would be kind of a fun idea. And so that's kind of where Peach Ridge came from.
I love that. I want to move to Peach Ridge because that, I don't know. I've never been in a place where you can actually grow peaches. And I think, I don't know, it's got to smell good. Does it smell good when you're in a peach orchard? I imagine it would, right?
I think I was in one to Texas and it just smelled like regular Texas air.
Oh, just like dirt?
Just like air.
Okay, well, never mind.
Okay, Tiffany. So what I have to say though is I love, like, you and I were on the same page. When I was growing up, all I wanted to do was like leave Montana, and I'm getting close to the date. We had to get really close to the camera today, so I'm going to do this. All I wanted to do was leave Montana and move to the South. And that was like my whole goal. So I joined the military and I put in for the South and I got it, North Carolina. And also I love Georgia. And so between when I was like trying to lose weight to join the military and joining the military, whenever I would go out and party and stuff, I would tell people my name was Georgia Peach, dudes. Like when they would say like, "What's your name?" and I didn't actually want to give them my name, I would tell them my name was Georgia Peach. So
you're learning a lot about you tonight, Dawn.
You are. I'm off the rails right now. So Dylann,
it's okay. I had a name too. It wasn't that good as Georgia Peach, but I did have a good name that I could easily give out.
So tell us where this book is in like in your series, in your world, in does it connect, or are there characters that
it is
different cameos?
It's the Walker family series, and it is 5 siblings and 1 cousin that I'm writing the books for. And the cousin has a book. 2 of the siblings have books, and then the 3rd book for that's not right. I was co-writing with someone, and one of the siblings has a book in that series, and then 3 of the siblings have books now because I have the 3rd brother's book coming out on the 19th of this month called Finding My Destiny.
Okay.
So Lucas is the oldest brother, and then there is Travis, Reed, Dylan, and Casey is the baby girl. And so Lucas's book is out, Dylan's book is out, Reed's book is the co-written book, and then Travis's book is the one that comes out.
Okay. Well, happy early release.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I do have one question that I need to ask, just in case the answer goes longer than our time frame. If your life/love life was a trope, what would it be? Oh, Shannon's laughing. Actually, both of them are laughing right now. I love this right now. Let's think about it for a second, ladies. They're laughing. I love it.
I feel like mine might be I mean, we've done ours before, but I feel like I kind of need to add like Hot Mess Express to mine. Yeah. This week I decided to wash the dog's blanket. She was supposed to have surgery on Tuesday. And I dropped her off, and she did not end up having surgery that day, but I was going to wash her blanket while she was gone. And I basically clogged the entire filter in our washing machine. And my husband had to figure out how to get to the filter, which it was one of those where you have to take the whole back off of the washing machine and get inside of it to empty the filter, which I never thought about when we picked that one out and bought it. So yeah.
Fun times.
Yes. So I feel like my life this week has been a just consecutive comedy of errors. But I
think you and I are both on the same trope.
I think there's got to be something weird going on in, I don't know, if Mercury is in retrograde or something. But anyways, all right. Okay. hopefully that gave you enough time to think of your answer, because I truly do feel that I do embody hot mess this week.
I'm feeling pretty hot messy this week too. This whole month really.
It's actually more like lukewarm. I'm not even feeling hot, like I'm just feeling lukewarm, messy, but
just very messy.
Yes.
So I'm definitely feeling that. But I think if my life were a trope, I am absolutely the heroine who has zero time for love. I ain't dealing with no men at all.
Okay. How about your life though? What? I'm sorry, did I miss that when I was texting Deanna? Or not texting, but messaging. I was responding to Deanna.
I would just say in my life, that would be it. Like, that's just who I am.
Express. Yeah. 3 out of 4. What's yours, Tiffany? Hot Mess Express, are you with us?
Oh, I'm definitely Hot Mess Express, for sure. I did a class one time and we were told, what was it? You had to come up with, if your life was a movie, what would the title be? What would the genre be? And what would your character be? And my title was, How Did I Get Here? My genre was a comedy of errors. And my character was drama queen.
All right. You fit right in, Tiffany.
So the theme of tonight is Hot Mess Express.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, but we actually still have a couple minutes left, so we should do one more question. Dylan, do you got any?
You know what? Our viewers tonight have been super silent. I've not seen a single question come through. So usually I can count on them for a question or two. But I'm going to pull out one of our, standbys, which is always fun to find out. What is your writing process? Are you a plotter or a pantser? Or somewhere in between?
I am somewhere in between. I've always been way more of a pantser. That's the way I wrote probably my first couple of books. But I also learned that when revising, if you really have no freaking clue where you're going, you end up rewriting like 40% of a book. And after you do that a couple of times on the same book, you start to learn to process. So I spend a lot more time like pre-writing. Like I have a soundtrack for every book. I really spend time just like thinking about my characters. I don't plot anything. I have some random scenes in my head, but I don't have an outline at all.
Okay.
No, I write, by the seat of my pants once I start writing, but I will spend weeks just kind of getting to know my characters before I write.
Do you fill out, do you do like character surveys or anything like that? Or you just kind of like noodle on them in your head?
I create a playlist based on kind of like the feel for who I think these characters are. I do a collage. So like I have a bulletin board with like placeholders for all of my characters. And I do Enneagrams. So I know what their Enneagram type is and kind of how they feed off each other. Because I do a lot of like kind of like opposites attract kind of thing, but like specifically like what are their greatest fears kind of thing and how is that going to come into play. But yeah, it's super easy. Like I'm too lazy to do lots and lots. Like people who do like Myers-Briggs for their, like who has time to answer that many questions for a character? I don't do that. I zip right down. Like I have a questionnaire for Enneagrams. It's like maybe 50 questions total. Like it's what boom, boom,
That's
boom.
a lot of questions.
Yes, but it's either a yes or a no. Like, is this you? Is this you? So it's just tally marks. So it's super fast. I'm done in 10 minutes.
Okay. Interesting.
That's it.
I've heard of people that will use Enneagram for their characters, but I have not. I mean, I've kind of tried doing that, but every time I take the test, I get a different answer. So I have not embraced the Enneagram. Do you know what number you are?
I usually end up like a 1, which is like the perfectionist. Okay. Sometimes I lean towards like is it a 6? I think is the one who's kind of like the judgy observer. I don't remember the exact names. It's who I am. Like I own it. Like when it comes up, like, yes, that's me. Like it doesn't work unless you have some idea of like, if you're walking in, you really have no idea who your characters are, you're going to get different answers every time. So like I come into it, especially when you're doing a series, and it's the family, like except for book 1 where you might not know it. By the time you get to book 2, book 3, like you've been with this family, you kind of know who they are. So that's, yeah, you have to have a sense of who they are, and then you take the quiz, and it's like that kind of helps solidify it a little bit.
I meant when I take it for myself.
Oh.
I always get a different answer. Seems like.
Oh, so does that mean you have multiple personalities?
Well, clearly I do, because I am two people. But yeah. Anyways, how about you, Tiffany? Plotter, pantser, Enneagram, archetype. How do you work?
I am more probably a pantser than plotter, but I have done some plotting, and I too am big on my characters. I don't do the Enneagram thing. I've taken it for myself, and I can't even begin to remember what number I was, but I mostly took it because my family is very into Myers-Briggs, and I don't even want to tell you live where people can hear what they said my score was that made me, but it was not good. So I decided to do the Enneagram, but I let my characters speak to me a lot. I normally have like pictures of kind of what they look like and some ideas. I don't do a whole character sheet, but I have a good sense of like, like what they're struggling with, what they need, type of a thing, and then that kind of leads me into the story.
All right.
Awesome.
Very cool.
We are at the end of the episode. I warned you guys it was going to go super fast, and it did.
Deanna did come through with a question.
I was just going to say that. Do you want them to answer later?
It should be really quick, because Deanna is in Australia, so she's down under. So she's wondering, what's it like in your neck of the woods?
Right.
They're nearing the end of winter.
We're nearing the end of summer, and it's hot and humid.
Yeah.
It is. Even in Montana, it's hot. It was 90 degrees.
Wow. It was like 75 here today, and it rained a little bit. So
brag a little. I mean,
I don't know where you're at, but it could have came from us. It rained a little the other day here.
I'm in Minnesota, so I am north of you. I'm north of like 99% of our entire country, I feel like. But
she also gets worse winters. But actually, I mean, kind of than me. But she gets bad winters, and she's always like, Minnesota.
Not so much anymore with global warming and whatnot. It hasn't been as bad. But anyways, all right, we should wrap up for tonight, because I think we should put an end to the show tonight, Dawn. I think
I think I should go to bed. I think I should go to bed after this.
Yes.
Get some rest. So I'm going to end it, and we will see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Can I real quick say, Shannyn and Tiffany, if there's, why will you tell people where is the best place to find you if they want to learn more about you and your books?
My website, shannonschroeder.com. Best way to get all of the information. Thank you for having me today. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for being brave and coming on here with us. How about you, Tiffany?
I would say the same. My website, tlruss.com, and I'm actually going into my Facebook group called the Tea Room after I get some water, and then after this, and we are going to do an after party. So it should be fun.
And how do you spell the Tea Room? Is it just the T, the letter T, or?
It is like the drink.
Okay, so TEA.
Yeah, tea room.
All right.
Yes, because I like to say that I am a tea stop table for one.
Cute. All right. So
yeah, I almost forgot that. I'm glad that you brought it up, because I was really excited that you're doing this after party. So everybody go to her after party. I probably won't. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to go to bed. I think we all agree I need to.
We may talk Taylor Swift's new album. I don't know. I may get some.
Can you record it and send me a video afterwards, or
I will try.
Can you make minutes like a board meeting?
Oh my gosh, Dawn. Right.
I'm just kidding. Dawn
is being way too high maintenance.
But
have
I love
fun tonight, Tiffany, in your after party. Thanks for being with us tonight. And we'll be back in 2 weeks on the 28th of August, because it's still August.
Is it though?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Dang it. All right. Well,
good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.